Hello, human. One of the most common questions when someone starts making kefir is whether the grains need whole milk or if they can live in low-fat light milk. Around this topic, a kind of dogma has formed. If you don't use whole milk, you're damaging the colony. The reality is much simpler. Kefir grains do not feed on fat. They feed mainly on lactose, the natural sugar in milk. The difference between whole milk and low-fat milk is the fat content, not the lactose content. Both contain almost the same amount of lactose. From an energy standpoint, the grains receive the same fuel in whole milk as in low-fat milk. They don't notice the fat as a primary food source. So why does the idea exist that whole milk is better? Because fat influences texture, mouthfeel, and stability. Kefir made with whole milk usually feels creamier and richer. Not because the grains work better, but because the medium contains more fat. The colony does not automatically become stressed when you use low-fat milk. It can ferment normally, it can grow, it can produce kefirin. It is not a hostile environment. The real issue isn't low-fat milk itself. The issue would be extremely diluted milk, heavily processed milk, or milk with additives that significantly alter its natural composition. Using low-fat milk once does no harm. Using it regularly doesn't destroy the colony either. The difference is mostly in the final texture and richness of the kefir, not in the health of the grains. Kefir grains care about lactose. Creaminess is for you. Now let's talk about long-term stability. Even though kefir grains don't depend on fat as their main food source, whole milk can offer a slightly more complete environment from a nutritional standpoint, not because of the fat itself, but because of the overall balance of the milk. Fat can act as a kind of buffer in texture and help the beverage feel more stable, especially during longer fermentations. This doesn't mean the colony suffers without fat. It means the final product may feel different. Some people notice that with low-fat milk, kefir separates more easily or feels thinner. That's not a sign of microbial stress. It's simply less fat, helping hold the structure together. In terms of grain growth, the difference is usually minimal if the low-fat milk is good quality. If a colony weakens while using low-fat milk, there are usually other factors involved. Temperature, excessive fermentation time, poor milk quality, or incorrect grain-to-milk ratio. The myth that kefir grains get stressed from low-fat milk comes from confusing sensory results with microbial health. Flavor and texture can change without implying internal damage. What can affect the colony is constantly switching milk types, not because one is harmful, but because the colony benefits from stability. Repeated abrupt changes can temporarily disturb its balance. Kefir doesn't demand perfection, it responds to consistency. So, which one is better? If you're looking for a creamier texture and a smoother profile, whole milk usually gives better sensory results. If you prefer less fat or only have low-fat milk available, the grains can work perfectly well in that environment. They don't get stressed from using it once. They don't get damaged from using low-fat milk for a period of time. What matters is that the milk is fresh, free of unnecessary additives, and suitable for consumption. Fermentation depends far more on lactose than on fat. As long as there's enough lactose, the grains have food. The real mistake isn't choosing whole or low-fat milk. It's believing that one simple change will destroy everything. Kefir grains are more resilient than most people think. Kefir isn't a rigid recipe. It's an adaptable process. And when you understand which variables truly matter, you stop fearing simple decisions. Whole milk may improve the experience. Low-fat milk can work just fine. Neither one, by itself, will ruin your grains. Follow me. I'm Kefir and Fermented.